Team Ontario. You see Team Ontario right now in their blocks with red trim. Having a little warm up there, firing some rings. And on the other side here, we got St. Albert in their whites with their red and black trim. So that should be easy to distinguish, as some colors are not, but these will be very simple for you to take a look at. Now, I believe, yes, it is. Team O is the home team for this game. St. Albert will start with the ring first in the first and third periods. We're going to play 4 periods, 4 10-minute periods. Have a minute break in between them, so you can plan your trip to the kitchen and pick up some new chip bags or popcorn, hot chocolate, pops, whatever you like. So settle in, enjoy a great game of ring. Got lots of fans here in the stands. I love watching the Ringette fans. They really get into it. Lots of drums and pool noodles and pom-poms in this case. Really pretty exuberant. It's a good environment. So thanks to our referees, all of our officials, the on-ice officials. Without them, the game doesn't happen. And of course, the volunteers, 200 volunteers, and in there in the box, making sure the time's capped, the shot clock, scorekeeping. Thanks to you all. St. Albert, out of center, wheels it deep to Spain's in the corner here. She drops it back. Timo picks it up, wheels up from behind the net. Stick check from behind. Let's go back, second attempt on this one. Middleton gets it out into the neutral zone. Lee gets it deep. Timo starts the cycle. Shot clock already down. Took a little while. It took 20 seconds to get into the zone. They come in real close. Oh boy. It is just under Tendy. Hit sitting behind her. She's not going to move. Not going to take that chance. I believe that's Carew. It's a net for St. Albert. It is. Timo down to the post. A set shot comes across. Left pad save. Starting a cycle. Fairly aggressive triangle by St. Albert. Good to the outside. It's good practice. It does leave a bit of a gap, however. Let's see if Timo tries to get inside. They do. Tries to get inside that defense as they're pushing so far out. Team Ontario with another possession. That's 3 in a row. They've recovered. Plays whistle down. Bit of confusion as to why, but nonetheless, the ring's going back out to center for St. Albert. Mission going to take their second opportunity to get into the Ontario zone. 8:34 left in this first opening period. Off the boards, deep. Arlinghouse. In the middle, looking for a power move down the slot. Chambel carrying right now. Holds to the middle again. Connects to the stick. There's a reset. Oh boy, it came back into the crease. There. Didn't look dangerous, but always is. 5-second violation, and ring is going to go out to the left of Caracolas. I've been here before and apologize for any mispronunciations. St. Albert doing a check. Caracolas. And that's for Team Ontario. Seeing it at the double A's. Great goalie. Really big shot there, just wide right. Weppels inside, right out front, boom. Set play, gets it in front of the crease. He's able to turn that ring around real quick. And the ring was just off the upper stick slightly. And I'll tell you, that's an art. That ring's just sitting high in your stick to be able to not pitchfork it, but get the flick on it. Get the flick and get it to go where you want it to go. Wow. That's skill, my friends. St. Albert opened up scoring with 7:39 left in the first. Middleton with it, looking for a friend in the neutral zone. There's the high-low. A little slower than she anticipated. She got stick checked on the release. That goal was scored by Ella Lazarek, I believe. Timo into the zone, just tries to send a softie into the slot. Mission able to get it out, sends it up, they got two, and into the crease. Boy, a bit of a good physical battle there in front of the crease, and St. Albert, I think that was Vergara, went down and into Karapolis' crease. Timo, neutral zone. Good coverage by St. Albert. That took 23 seconds to make the zone. Oh, there's a reset shot there. Came in pretty heavy. Carew, got to be mindful of that along the ice. You don't get that zone entry. You want to get into the zone within 10 seconds, giving yourself a chance to possibly get that first shot off if you see the opportunity, pick up a reset, pick up recovery, rinse, repeat. Get after one, maybe get two. But that neutral zone tie-up by St. Albert there, it's impressive. Back down the post, looking for a one-timer. Can't quite get it away. Lee carrying. Apologies. That was Kleiman. Little hold up there. Swatted off a stick again. Timo recovers. Little inside move. Doesn't make the connection in the neutral zone. Mission, get away here. They got two in the zone already. Arlinghouse rolls around with some speed. Comes inside. Was looking backhand. Decides to hold up as her team makes a change. Hold up. Rips one. Oh boy, sitting right behind, and it's taken out. Chambel gets in there. Looked like it was in the crease, but it made its way out. On the doorstep again. Boy, St. Albert pressing hard here, friends. 5:25 left in the first, and Team Ontario sitting on a 4-minute penalty, which I neglected to tell you about. There's a major penalty against Ontario, so for the next 3 minutes and 6 seconds, they will be down a player regardless if St. Albert scores. There's the check. Lazarek with it now. Drops it back off. Good save. Boy, blocker, you heard that thud up here. Nice hard shot. Waples with it. Had it. Ontario takes it away. Gonna make a move to the neutral zone, and oh boy, can't get the connection, or she had player busting loose in the offensive zone. Good use of the body to protect this. Ontario gets a D to D. So send that up the boards. Makes that stab and intense stick checking. Mission, Sydney Auden. Put the pressure on. Mission coming back in. They've got 3. right to the boards. Ontario closes, pressing the boards, and great stick checking of their own. Good break in here, held up. Can't get the shot off on some good defensive stick. Lazaruk gets back from the reset. It's flouting around the crease. Ontario makes a connection neutral zone, stick checked away, makes a move. Goes far side, got to get on your horse and get at that one. They make it, but again, 22 seconds entry. Gets a reset, doesn't get it. Boy, there's a glove touch. That should have been a reset there. It is. Now that St. Albert has taken possession, can't get it past the skate. Tossed away in the middle there. Larner. Two-line pass. Over two blue lines, can't do that. So nonetheless, St. Elmo's back there first, and they pick this up. It's touched and picked up and lost. Ontario soft pass into the neutral zone. Cycles back, electing to control this, see if she can find a better option. Throws in the white space in the far corner. Goes in deep. Held up, moving to lose it. It's going to be goalie Rink. Team O had possession last, was held up. Mission coming out of their own zone. High-low neutral zone. And slingshot, oh boy. Touched at both sides, but that's basically all Team Ontario could do there. Is she touched it on both sides of the blue line, but couldn't risk Mission player to have a clear line to the net. Mission with a free ring off to the left of Karapolis. Back and forth, a little bit of a hot pass there. Arlinghouse goes back to get a hold of it. Cuts back in, rolls off, stops, loses the ring momentarily, comes off the post, and Karapolis gets a glove on it. War. Somebody has lost a neck guard. Play stops right away. Off they go, gonna make a change. 2:18 left here in the first, friends. St. Albert up 1-0 at the 2025 Canadian Ringette Championships on ringette.live, CBC YouTube, of course, the Ringette Canada YouTube channels, and joining us as well, TELUS Optic. Lots of places for you to get a hold of this great tournament, end-of-year tournament. The two best players in the country. Ontario picking up speed, going through. Second pass, can't make that connection, and St. Albert intercepts and just clears the blue line. Ooh, nice move through the top. Arlinghouse inside. Good positioning there. Karapolis squares up. McAdam turns back, tests the water there, gets a good stick for her trouble. I'll tell you what, the Mission are on top of these rings, and they're relentless. Ontario with two in the zone. She's going to make this pass. She's going to take the shot in the face. Stopped up. Hey, you're going to do what you got to do. Carew, right in the right place, right time. 1:14 left in the first. Ontario with a first free pass in a while. You know, for the first several minutes, it was all Ontario, and then after the goal, the Mission really, Ontario inside. The Mission really found their legs and were inspired by that first goal. Into the neutral zone. Good stab made. Lost, however, and Ontario soft pass. It's going down the channel. Inside, 1-2. Wide right. Would be nice too. For Ontario, would have loved to have evened it up. Moving into the end of this first. About a possession left here. Good curl back. Boy, that stick is wrapped around her arm. And here comes the call. Ontario taking a late penalty. So they'll be down for 2. Moving into the second period, assuming the Mission don't score here. But the Mission do have the free pass, the offensive zone. They'll have to go to the corner. Hood with it. Goes around, good pass, a little bit outside of the reach of Stalk. Stalk inside. Probably content to just get one last shot at the end. There it is. High and out. 7 seconds left. Ontario to the corner. D to D. Cuts in front. Gets through traffic. And it sounded like play was whistled down there just as the buzzer went, but nothing apparent. I'll do it for the first. Again, 1-0 St.Albert-Mission, who really took the momentum after scoring that first goal. A good job tying things up in the neutral zone. There hasn't been any clear shots through the neutral zone and giving any breakaway opportunities. None to speak of anyways. Well, that first period, both teams working hard, and we'll see things open up a bit in a second. So St. Albert will, in the second, Team Ontario, second period will start out with a ring. Still down a player for a minute 32. Started that period out. We're going to back at it in about 5 seconds. Well, it's been a real treat having people, fans, friends, families coming in from around the country here to see the team and provincial pride on display. Lots of great costumes, jackets from Alberta, and the traditional green from Saskatchewan. Wonderful thing about our sport. St. Albert away, a little bit beyond the reach. Test the water a little bit there is Arlinghouse. Back to Arlinghouse again, turns, there's a shot, screen shot. Karapoulos gets a leg on it, bit of a block, a bit of a glove. And goalie Rink. So good job, Team Ontario, to hold Mission without a shot there and force the possession change. In the neutral zone, nice tap and hold. Good play to get the zone. Down to the post, rips one off the post. A nice design play there to get that quick shot short side. Almost got it done. Ontario cannot get it clean into the neutral zone, having trouble there. So it'll be Mission free pass to the left of Karapoulos. Waples to Lazaric. Apologies again for pronunciation. Back and forth, drop back again. And riser right into the corner boards. Ontario can't get this past the blue line, has to grab onto it. So need somebody to pick up the slack here. Good lead pass. Sends it deep. Nobody's home yet. Nobody skates into this. Good coverage. Ontario puts 2 on and comes away with the ring. Martin turns. Can't get a clean shot up, but Ontario grabs a hold of this just as Carew puts a stick on it. Backhand. Hangs up on the back of the net. Goalie ring. Carew distributes left. Stolk gets it into the neutral zone. Sent deep. Howd pursuing. Whistle down behind the Ontario net. It's going to be St.Albert-Mission free pass. 7:29 left in the second. Sends a shot, boy. Heavy shot from the free pass. You play Ontario, still can't find a clear path. St. Albert's done a great job of clogging lanes, obvious passing points, and anticipating where Ontario may be going. St. Albert across the middle. Elects not to shoot. Pardon me. Shot clock violation again. Ontario holds them without the reset. Great pressure here by St. Albert. Tell you what. Ontario gets the zone. 12 seconds left. Doesn't leave much opportunity to make a play or to get a change. However, some good persnickety here. Morgan Campbell in Carew's face forces the 5-second violation and gives Ontario a possession in the offensive zone. 6 minutes left in the second. Center out the far boards. They got 4 in. Ontario does. Pull the goalie, trying to get something done here. And it sits on the tip of the sticks to be goalie ring. So Ontario with 5:40 left there decides to pull their tendy. Get 4 in, try to get something moving here. And they're going to do it again. They're putting 4 in again. Out of front. Oh, it makes it all the way to Carew. She holds on to it. Gives an underhand pass. Left side. And St. Albert is away. Making some changes. Out front into the slot. Most dangerous place to shoot for, boy. Wide right. It was a gloved to get the reset. St. Albert gets a fresh shot clock. Little give and go, back and forth. In behind the net. Decides to cut back into the forehand. Gonna cut back again, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Tears one. Bounced it off Garapoulos and held for 5, and St. Albert will get a fresh clock and a free pass. off to the left of Karapoulos. 4:37 left in the second. We got some goalie work being done here. Carews skate, looks like she had to take her left pad off, and looks like she's retying her skate. Is that what I'm seeing? Appears to be. Something going on there. Possibly a Bush taking the whole lace out. Huh. I'll tell you, those goalies, they certainly go through a lot, don't they? Neither goalie particularly busy. Had to make some good positional saves, but there hasn't been a plethora of shots. To be honest with you, it's been a little disjointed trying to, with the time taken up, trying to move through the neutral zone by both teams. But still, I have to say that St. Albert is carrying the play, in possession time-wise. Anyhow, still only 1-0. Looks like Carews almost ready to go. There she is. All right. Good stuff. Probably feels a little bit better getting that sorted out. St. Albert goes back to the close boards. Drop back again. She's got a cycle. She's on her right hand, on the forehand. Oh, went to cut inside. There was a leg stopping up that action. And Ontario's going to move quickly through the zone. Got to skate up to it. Gonna get one last shot. Carew set it up for it, and backhand Ontario. Boom! Good goal. That first play locks Carew up, and if I'm not mistaken, Charlotte Anderson gets Ontario on the board with a backhand right out front. I can tell you, friends, the first goal for a team is obviously the most important one. It just relieves so much pressure. Always that lingering question, can we score on this goalie? And now you're going to see this game, I feel it's going to open up. Inside, shot on. Stopped up, it drops out in front. Karapoulos fakes it, drops it right. Let's see if they can get through here. Boy, lanes are covered. This one-on coverage by St. Albert is relentless. Make a trick play to get inside. Go back and forth, wait for the third player to get in. So make some changes inside. Push it in the crease, and, well, be careful. Get around your friends there. A little tap on the back, make sure everybody's okay. Race for it inside, and it's the high-low. Doesn't work as anticipated, but I'll tell you what, that interception by Ontario was very fortunate. They go to the corner, a little smack on the stick, and out front, inside. Great save, Carew squared up for that one. A little bit deep, no problem. Stolk, neutral zone, comes off a skate. Ontario turns around. They are a little bit more invigorated after that goal, as does happen. Nice play, breaking in one-on-one. Turns it backhand. Again, Carew tracks that ring as being shot right across the crease. Stops it up gold. Trying to get a back pass in the zone. St. Albert's going to have to go back and roll off a couple of times. Just wonderful to watch the skating ability at this level. It's just, you get used to it, I guess. until you really slow down and have a look and realize how phenomenal these athletes are. Goalie ring, 2:08 left in the second. Karapoulos fakes high, dishes right. Cut back by Timo. There's the gap, made it through, sends it deep. It's a drop off, breaks to the center. Carew, beautiful position. Well, Arlinghouse, did you see that behind the back? Takes the stick behind her back and rolls it around. Wonderful. St. Albert on the forehand, right hand, just under a minute 30. Drops it off, back to her, tries to shovel one away, but Ring's sitting high. Ontario's gonna come away from behind their net. And there's the lead pass, a little too far. It's gonna be a two-liner. There's a tripping call coming. She's going for the ring, catches the skate, brings down St. Albert player. So Ontario going to the box for 2 minutes for tripping, with a minute 13 remaining in the second period. Free pass to the right of Karapoulos. Fate's shot goes to the far boards. Skirts around, breaks inside, tries to get a shot away. It's stopped up by Timo D. Off the boards, gets a hold of it on her knees, however. St. Albert's gonna steal this one away. They're gonna come in with three. Little back pass to get the zone. Little cheeky play. Another back pass right to the post. What a fabulous pass that was. 5 seconds called. And St. Albert will get another opportunity with another free pass inside the Ontario zone. Minute 20 remaining in the Team Ontario penalty. 1 possession left in this period. St. Albert seems content to burn the time down, probably to around 10 seconds or so, and get a shot off. There it is. Ooh, Karapoulos had to be quick on that one. Came in hot, throws it over her head, and 2 seconds left. There's a tip, and that'll do it for the first period. Tied up at 1. Team's gonna go back and have a chat with the coaches and each other. Talk strategy. Score more. Scored on less. So, friends, be sure to get your updates from our socials, from the CRC host committee socials on Instagram, Facebook, ringette.live, Ringette Canada, of course. We know you're following them, of course. Make sure you're following us all. That's what really makes a big difference. Share it around. More followers equals more exposure, more opportunities for more sponsors, and more Ringette being covered, broadcast live to you. Look forward to all of you and your comments. A lot of positive feedback coming in from people from across the country. It's very heartening. The players we know see this, as well as the coaching staff and whatnot, that, you know, they put so much time and effort into the game. And that feedback means a ton. A nice little glove bump on the way by. Carew and Karapoulos, you know, something you love about this sport. Goalies roll by each other. They're obviously super competitive, but they give each other a little glove bump on the way by. some friendships made even on opposite teams through this sport. Testament. Starting the third, St. Albert back to having possession first. Into the zone. Little cut back. Drops it off. Turns, trying to get a back pass up to Lazarek. Can't. Karpolis fakes on the first drop, goes to the second drop. Boy, big pressure here. Lazarek. And still 17 seconds, Team O in the box remaining. It's going to be St. Albert free pass to the right of Karpolis. It's being screened heavily. Lazarek drops it off. Waples tries to cut through, wheels around again. Loses it, but it is found by her friend. Look at the perfect position there. Team Ontario putting the shoulder and stopping that up. Textbook defense. Rolls off under some big pressure. Boy, oh boy, you don't want to be giving it up there, going up the channel. And excellent pressure by the Mission. Force a turnover. Excellent defensive game, friends. Treat to watch it. Each one ready to pounce on an opportunity. Any defensive breakdown. Face the shot, goes to the corner, spans. Dropped off for Span, swept away. Can't get right to it, and pressured again. Stolen right off the stick. Cut back. Turns away. Soft into the neutral zone. It's touched, so she can go back after it. Gets it, and the refs whistle this one down. See if there's a penalty being called or not. It is Ontario possession at center. Ontario makes the zone, sends it to the corner. Just over 8 minutes remaining in the third. Back to the middle. The close boards. 8 seconds left. Turns, holds, drops, trips. Ontario gets out of the box and will get the free pass. Again inside the St. Albert zone. Nope, there was a penalty called against St. Albert. So Ontario turns. Oh, I thought she was going to rip that one. Moving the D around. Goes back and gets a reset. Cross goes far side, left, pad, save, Carew. Just sticks the toe out. Let's go inside post. Ontario moving it nicely. Through inside. It's a quick acceleration. Stopped up, it'll be goalie Ring. Ontario's carrying that ring, and the ring stopped moving for too long. Just turn around, comes off a skate. Ontario recovers off a bit of a gift. Just cycle back, make a change, drop it off to a friend. Just over 7 in the period, just over a minute left in the penalty to St. Albert. Four on the shot clock. Rips one off of the defense. There's a shot. And they're going to give it to Ontario. So that ring gets on target. But of course they can't reset the shot clock in time. So Ontario's going to get a freebie out of this. want to say thanks to all of our staff at ISI Live, all of our production staff. Steven Zeideman producing all of our events in these 6 arenas simultaneously, as well as all of our on-site operators. Big nods. Mason and friends doing a great job. And certainly our network operations, Matt, Marty, good work getting these games to you. A good battle along those far boards. It's going to be another Ontario possession. Getting out to get stuff done, and Karapolis keeping herself warm, doing some goalie exercises out in front of us. Just trying to keep her, you know, keep the joints fluid. Ontario moving around a bit. Makes a move inside, boy. Nice pull. Surprised she didn't roll around on that one, but wants to make sure she's got possession. Gets that pass down into the post as St. Albert is playing a fairly aggressive triangle. That's leaving some space, and Ontario's trying to exploit that. You see how far they're coming out and how much gap there is between the goaltender and the one flank of the triangle. Ontario gets a shot away, and it doesn't hit net, so it's not a reset. There it is, backdoor. Boy, tries to get the one-timer on that. St. Albert is away. Teams at even strength now. Sends one deep, and it's a race for it. Boy, Arlinghouse turns the burners on. Just gets there. Oh, makes a move inside. 1-2, sends one off the D. Ontario getting away. Albeit under pressure. Into the neutral zone. Rolls off. It's a soft one in, but the ring's up on its edge. Not ideal for stabbing. St. Albert away, sends one right down the seam. 1-2, far side. What a beautiful pass to Arlinghouse. Chambel. Just come back to the middle, gets it down in behind the net. Trying to slingshot out from behind. Ontario gets it out. Karapolis drops it off. Ontario looking to get out of the zone. Soft pass neutral zone. Good tap to stop that up. Flings it into St. Albert zone. They intercept and are going to make the neutral zone. And into the Ontario zone. And with a bit of speed, goes, can't get it better. There's a tripping call to Ontario. So, delayed penalty here. A little cat and mouse while they wait to get the fourth player in. Get all in the box. St. Albert to the post. Holds, goes back up to the top. Backhand. Stolk rips one. No, it's not a goal, friends. It is post to post. Boy, I don't know if we're going to see that again or not, but let's take a look and you see that shot. It's as close as it can come to not going in. The nice movement around here. You're going to see this nice setup and rips it post. Good catch, Mason. Thanks for that. Whew. It remains 1-1 with 3:49 left in the third. Mission, I tell you what, their fans here exploded, and it's certainly disappointing to see that ring come back and stop on the other side of the crease on the wrong side of the red line. In the famous words of Tom Barrasso, Stanley Cup winning goaltender for the Penguins, well, you don't expect me to stop those ones too, do you? The post is your friend. Check this out. Karapolis trying to look through. They're sending it up. Rips one. Comes off her own player. Boy, they stacked that up. There was 3 Ontario players and 2 St. Albert players all set in front of Karapolis. And you see her head trying to poke through to get an eyeball on where that shot was coming from. Lazarek gets it. Wait, hard hit. Oh, Karapolis pulls that in. Drops it to her left. You're starting to see the speed really coming out now. Another penalty to Ontario. They get it deep by herself. Can't execute on that one. Despite being a player down, Ontario has a player lurking right down in front of Carew. Almost got rewarded with a straight shot to the net. Just under 3 minutes left in the third, friends. St. Albert to the neutral zone. Anticipated by Ontario, steals it away, at least momentarily. Loses it. Surprisingly, it's only taken 20 years for players to anticipate that high-low is going to come in inside. They're doing it now. I've seen it all tournament. Players know that high-low is coming. They just move in front of it. .45 seconds remaining in the Ontario penalty. Mission. A free pass to the right, Karapolis. Spans down here in the corner. Wapples sends it to her. Slingshot. Wapples walks in, turns back to the post. Karapolis sees that the whole way and gets over to the post and stops that up. Great anticipation and vision. There's a shot. Oh boy, it comes off. Boom! Hood gets her first of the game off of the shot that kind of knuckles a little bit. Gets underneath the arm of Karapolis. Trickles in. And with that, just to get inside of 2 minutes. Look at that shot there, just an oddball. But a nice setup. Give St. Albert credit for that whole series. Rewarded with a goal. Ontario gains the zone. And stabbing of their own. They're moving around. Casey Hood. Backhand, Carew contains. Wheels it out to her left. St. Albert far side got a wide open player. So 1-on-1 gets it out front, backhand. Oh boy, friends. We need to see that again. That ring did a ring thing. Gets up on its edge. Boy, what a setup. That was just perfect. Wide open, gives the tap. There's the release. Just catches enough of it, rolls out, and even when her teammate tries to roll it back in, dangerous. Arlinghouse rolling. Rips one high and over the net. Chambal recovers again. 8 seconds left in the shot clock. Still rolls off, rips one. Good stop. Karapolis gets it around. It comes off awkward, sweeps it away. And Arlinghouse just doing the work here, the captain. Getting after it all. Well, one of the captains. Kleiman as well. Turns, goes to the post. Chambal can't get a grip on that one. It came a little bit close to her skates. She sends one. And Ontario's away. Made the neutral zone. Turning, looking for a friend. And, throws it away there. Looking to get across the neutral zone. It's a penalty coming up nonetheless to St. Albert. As the third period is about to end. Let's see what Ontario's got lined up here, what Amanda Clark, head coach for Team O. She sets something up. Oh, just tells her to send it. She does. 5 seconds left. St. Albert tears it out of the zone. That'll do it for period number 3. Spirited period. With St. Albert taking the lead. Fabulous play. Holding possession time for sure. I'm going to take 1 minute break here between the periods, and this is always the interesting period, the 4th, of course, for a few reasons. A couple of things that just slight factors, but one, if you get a chance to see some of the spots on the ice here, I'm going to show you even just in beside the net here. You just take a look at the snow buildup. The ice surface obviously has a ton of snow built up for it, and there's 2 pieces to that, two impacts. One is that in the even periods, the teams are closest to their own bench, which facilitates goalies skating to the bench to throw an extra player on, especially in a 1-goal game. And the second side of that is that with this much snow on the ice, the ring doesn't travel not anywhere nearly as fast. So if a team were to pull their goalie and the other team having shot on them, it doesn't have as much chance of actually making it to the net. There's just so much snow. The ring slows down significantly in the fourth period with teams at this level with the amount of skating that they do. So here we go. Ontario starting out with 1 less player and 1 less goal. Sorry, St. Albert with 1 less player, Ontario with 1 less goal. Down to the post, turns around, goes backhand. Carew gets the glove up off the second effort. Vanderson. St. Albert down to the post. Oh, she lets that one go by and gets a reset as Karapolis has to redirect it. Given a freebie here. Free possession for St. Albert to burn this penalty down and see what opportunities present. Ontario away from their own net. Far side. What a great pass inside, behind again, Carew, glove down, but Ontario's right there, right pad, gets it out. And it's gonna be Ontario possession, but 2 golden opportunities. Team Ontario there. It's Abigail Larmer sitting out, doing the work. Carew, 2 great glove saves. 33 seconds remaining in the St.Albert-Mission penalty. Ontario back and forth. They pulled Karapolis to try to get some extra activity going on here. They're going to work it around, get the defense moving. Out in the front, oh, they lose it, and here comes the big shot. Let's see, Stoke. And they get closer, rip one. Oh, I don't know if she saved that or redirected it, but a dive, big time dive. Karapolis goes out there as the Mission do get a chance to get that shot on an empty net. Ontario not seeing the available friends inside. Penalty is over and teams at even strength. Fans lined up all throughout behind the glass. Gets out. Intercepted, and Arlinghouse makes the pass into the neutral zone, taken away by Ontario. They're going to soft in the third option. Henderson Pass across. Inside makes a nice move. Backhand. Carew stops that up. Sims. Another one. Rips it off a stick. Lee. Inside. Takes down two players. It's to the post. Sims with it. That's back. Inside backhand. Looking, hoping for a reset there. Carew holds on to it. She's just going to hang on. Let the defense get a change. 6:50 remaining in the fourth. Mission holding on to a 2-1 lead. Timo Worrell. Roll, rip shot there. Nice heavy shot by Anderson. Carew. Timo's on the spot. Gets a block on that exit effort. Makes it inside and plays whistled away as Team Ontario pulled their goalie. I am unsure what the infraction was there. I mean, it looked like maybe they're calling a 4 in, but Ontario had pulled their goalie. I'm not certain why, but St. Albert, nonetheless, is going to have the free pass from center. Off the far boards. Eight on the shot clock. Shot from range. Karapolis holds on, dishes out left. And Team Ontario away with it. In the neutral zone, they make it, and there's the return right to the corner. Ontario gets stick checked. What a great check. Loses it, however, it's going to be a tripping call. Oh, I'll tell you what. I think that's Dryland, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Tia Dryland. Gets it away, gets checked off her while she's being tripped, and Ontario's back in the box for a pair. 5:51 left in the fourth. St. Albert. Alberta 2. Drop it off, back. Yeah, well, there's a shot. Scored. Boom. Just inside the post. Screenshot. 5:33 left. St. Albert takes a 2-goal lead, 3-1. This is going to be a lot of work here for Ontario. It already was difficult trying to get something in there despite the work they've done. But they definitely have been doing better in this fourth period. The penalty didn't help. That was a power play goal to the post. Rips one off the post. Recovers, sends one in, and Cruz forced to pick this one up. She really wanted to sweep that away. Waples with it, being pursued, 2 Ontario players. Waples off the boards and gets through both of them. Ontario's going to pick this up. Sent across. Good ring management, not forcing the situation. Everybody goes down. Ontario's in deep and can't get that pass through. Looking to try to make a cross crease pass. There it is to the post. Sends one, boom! Oh my goodness, what a missile. Jenna Martin Just turns, no telegraph, sends one upstairs. And 4:21 left in the fourth. Ontario brings it back within one. Off an absolute missile. Mission from center. Deep off the boards. Good placement. Sends it back out. St. Albert pulls him in, gets inside, turns, shoots, boom! Returns the favor. Frees up space, size up the triangle, and beautiful shot. Arlinghouse. Let's open up here. Things have in this fourth. Ontario makes the zone. Gets into the corner. Kenzie Lee and Ontario fighting for this. St. Albert's gonna roll off. Herbert drops it. Anderson gets to the neutral zone, and it's a two-line pass. Ontario doesn't have time to fool around. They just get on it. Go pick that ring up into the neutral zone and gets it inside, just inside the blue line. Holds back. She's gonna maintain ring control. Right choice. 6 possessions left here, friends. There's another one. Now she's inside. Gets stick check last second. Oh no, doesn't get a hold of it. Shot wide left. Contained along the boards. Boy, it's just a bruising out here, friends. Ontario ends up with the ring again, however, and they're gonna try to set something up as St. Albert. There's the post again. Good stick by Anderson. Sends a shot in. Carew eats this up. Sends it out to Herbert on her right. She rolls off. Good stick. Ontario not giving any space there. And yeah, Ontario's going to get the ring on a move it or lose it. 2:33 left in the fourth. St. Albert with a 2-goal lead, but I tell you what, anything can happen here, friends. Mission dictating play for most of this game, really, until this fourth period. Swung a little bit, I would say, a little bit in favor of Ontario. But certainly goals back and forth. Impressive stuff. Very well-matched teams. Brittany Krejci, head coach, St. Albert-Mission, imparting some good advice. Taya Tweeden, assistant coach. Ontario, Amanda Clark, as mentioned before, and Gordon Henderson, the head coach, assistant coach. Of course, we love all the coaches. Well, let's just see what they might have designed. Ontario net is empty. Testing out the top of that triangle, seeing how far they want to go. Opens it up, down to the post, back up, and over, down, can't quite get it. And St. Albert gets it back out to Carew, stick checked away. Ontario recovers it. It's Ontario ring. Some confusion about what just happened there, and the St. Albert coach is asking, yes, it's going to be taken out of the zone, down to center. It'll be St. Albert ring. The what happened down the ice, of course, Karapolis comes back on the ice, and it appeared that Ontario had still left 4 players in the zone when the Tendy went back on the ice on what they thought was a, well, it was a possession change momentarily. St. Albert from center. Avoid the pressure, the man-on pressure. 4 possessions left. Ontario comes away to the boards. Stolen back and forth. The ring is, it looked like it was still in motion, but it's blown down. Let's see who, it looks like it's going to be given to St. Albert. Yes, it is, with a minute 53 remaining in the 4th. Exciting stuff here, friends. Oof. It's a burner. Ooh, good action here in the 4th. St. Albert going to burn down probably their 20 seconds and try to take that last 10-second shot. Ontario, oh boy, bit of a hip check there, and there's some activity. See if there's any call or not. Minute 33. And a new clock for St. Albert. 3 possessions. 2-goal lead. Ontario really needs to get a hold of this, put the pressure on, get a hold of this, get it down, get the goalie out. Little cat and mouse, St. Albert. Into the corner, stopped up again. Let's see. It is. Mission gonna get that ring again with a minute 12 remaining. Arlinghouse looked like she was going to take this free pass, so she steps back. I think they're going to try to get it to her. They do. And the penalty was called Team Ontario in that last seconds there. So in the box for the remainder of the game. Karapolis has to sit on that one, so it'll be another free pass, another 30-second clock for St. Albert. Set to the far side. Trying to move that around as Ontario presses hard on Arlinghouse. Ontario comes away with it, it gets it ahead. And the return pass, nobody home yet. There's space. It's going to drive. They don't have time to set anything up. They're going to have to just get in as fast as they can. To the post, turns around, sends one right, save that was. And great position for another save. Gets tucked in, and there's the 5 seconds. So 21 seconds left. 2 golden opportunities right out front, and Carew stops them up. Whew. 21 seconds, 2 goals. Pretty much got to rip this. And they don't. Drop back and forth a couple times. 4 in. Tries to break it down inside the post. Can't get a stick totally in that one. And I'm going to do it again. 5.3 left. Now, keep in mind, friends, you're wondering, hey, shouldn't you just, like I said, rip a shot in there? But the goal differential matters. And it may be more important to Ontario, realizing it's not likely to win this game, to at least set up to get one more goal, improving their chances in the standings. I don't know where they are right now, these two teams, in their pool. And there's a shot, sends it over the net, and that will do it. St.Albert-Mission take this one, 4-2, a spirited game. And Carew, what a great job. Karapolis, also a great job. A good defensive game, as evidenced by a 4-2 score. But certainly a lot of good work in the neutral zone. Good attack on the ring, and good goaltending. So we'll leave you now. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the tournament with us, and certainly heading into this weekend, it's going to be pretty exciting. We're going to get our championship Saturday. Going to play at Slush Puppy over in Gatineau. What a great facility that is. If you get a chance to, drive over from BC or something like that, start now. Drive fast. Nonetheless, thanks to my crew, Mason and everybody back in the Network Operations Center, Caitlin as well, making this all happen. We'll see you soon.